Stop saying what does it mean in your Spanish lessons and start using Spanish instead. Today, you'll learn 3 questions that every beginner should know. ¡Vamos! ¿Qué tal? Acá Marco, your Latino Spanish teacher. To start, let's look at the first question. You listen to an interaction between a student and a teacher. Pay close attention to the question the student asks and what it means in this context. Here we go.
Hoy vamos a estudiar vocabulario de primavera.
Primavera. ¿Qué significa primavera?
Significa spring, primavera.
In this interaction, the teacher mentions primavera, and the student is confused about that word. Primavera? What does it mean? But he doesn't ask, what does it mean? He asks the question, ¿qué significa? ¿Qué significa primavera? That means, what does primavera mean? ¿Qué significa primavera? So whenever you want to know the meaning of a word, the question is, ¿qué significa plus the word? Significar is the verb to mean. So, ¿qué significa? What does it mean? Very simple. Let's learn your second important basic question. Let's look at the following part of the dialogue. What is the question this time? Here we go.
¿Conoces algunas palabras de primavera?
Not many. Sol, buen tiempo, and flowers. ¿Cómo se dice flowers?
Flores. Sí, en primavera hay muchas flores.
The situation here is different. Now the student is not confused by Spanish word. He wants to know the Spanish equivalent of a word that he knows in his own language. And when that's the case, the question is, ¿cómo se dice? Plus the word. Thus, how do you say? For example, about spring, primavera, you can ask, ¿cómo se dice flower? ¿Cómo se dice plants? ¿Cómo se dice trees? And your teacher will reply, se dice flor, plantas, árboles. By the way, you can study this lesson along with the summary in my Spanish Starter Pack. This ebook contains your first 30 lessons to help you build a solid base en español. Grab it for free at latinl.com/Spanish-beginners. And finally, let's learn the third basic important question. Pay close attention to what it is in the dialogue.
En primavera las personas salen de paseo, jardinean, hacen picnics.
Profesora, ¿puede repetir, por favor? Más despacio.
Lo siento, voy a repetir más lento.
Did you catch that? The teacher was speaking rapid-fire Spanish, so the student asked, ¿puede repetir, por favor? Más despacio. Can you repeat, please? Slower. And with that request, your teacher knows they have to speak slower. So let's recap. To ask the meaning of a word, ¿qué significa? To ask for the equivalent of a word, ¿cómo se dice? And to ask someone to repeat and slow down, ¿puede repetir, por favor? Más despacio. Make sure to include por favor. Be nice. And speaking of being nice, if you want to know how to address people formally and informally, make sure to watch this lesson on how to use tú and usted. ¡Hasta la próxima! ¡Chao, chao!